Okay, so I have started recording here and also let me share my screen. Let me know when you can see my screen. Can you guys see my screen? Okay, good. So use case. We are going to discuss these topics today. Use case. So I have a few other documents that I'll be sharing with you. Let me bring this here. Use case one, and then use case. Use case. Okay, use case two. Use case two. Let me do it as well. Insert picture this device. Okay, now what is use case, right? Use case is the pictorial documentation or pictorial representation of the requirement. Okay, use case is the pictorial representation of the requirement where you show the actor's activity versus the system's response. Okay, again, use case is the pictorial representation of the requirements where you show the user's action, and in response to that user's action, what is the response from the server? You show these activities in graphical formats. This is what use case is. So what happens, right? What happens when uh, the business analyst, when the business analyst collect the requirements, when the business analyst collect the requirements from the business, they prepare the BRD, business requirement document. Is that correct? They also prepare functional requirement document, which is FRD, which is more elaborate of the requirement, elaborate version of the requirement. They also prepare use cases. In the use case, they show some graphical representation of the key functionalities. Okay, so again, the business analyst, they or system analyst, they prepare this type of use cases. Again, use case is to explain the requirement, and it is a graphical explanation so that people can people can easily understand it. Does it make sense, guys? What is use cases? Okay, okay, sounds good. So you come here. um, Now again, the BAs, they prepare the use case. So let's say that uh, a bank ATM, I'm giving an example, a use case for a bank ATM. Okay, now if you want to represent it in graphical format, right? So there is account holder, right? Here, who is the user of the who is the user of the bank ATM? Can you think of, can any of you think of some users of the bank ATM? Account holders, right? Account holders. Could you think of any other user of the bank ATM?
uh, businesses or just the the bank itself?
Bank itself, yeah, that's the good answer. How about tips? They are They are also a kind of user. Anyway, so this is just so here the user of the bank, the user of the banks, and the maintenance people from the bank. They are the user of the bank ATM. Is that correct, Sharmin? Sharmin, do you agree with us?
I actually took a 2 minutes break. I just came back. I
Oh,
can't
no,
hear you.
no problem. So, who is the, like, we are discussing here use case, right? As we are discussing, use cases are the pictorial representation of the requirement, and we basically show the user's action and what will be the system's response in like in a graphical format in the use case. So what user does and what system response, we present this in the use cases in graphical format. Okay. Now this use case, right? This use case is like another way of representing the requirements, and it is a graphical format, and normally BAs they prepare the use cases to elaborate the requirement. Okay. Now we are talking here about a bank ATM. So bank ATM, who will be the user of the bank ATM? That was the question. The bank's account holder and also like the maintenance people from the bank, they will be using the bank ATM. Is that correct? Okay. So you see that account holder. Can you see my screen?
I can.
Okay, account holder, they go to the ATM, enter the card, enter the PIN, and they can withdraw funds, they can deposit funds, they can transfer funds, they can check balance. These are the common functionality that they do, right? Whatever they do, if they enter PIN, that PIN will be go to the server, bank server, to make sure that the PIN is correct. Is that correct? Whenever they withdraw, again, when you withdraw money in the bank server, the amount will have to be updated. Like, okay, a transaction happened, and also your when you withdraw fund, your balance will be decreased. So all of the activities will be happen in the bank server, right? When you deposit, similarly activities will happen to the bank server. When you transfer, similar thing will happen. When you check balance, similar thing, it will have to get balance from the bank server. So can you see, that is how represent requirements in a use case, and we are calling this as use case. So this is an example of a use case for bank ATM. And then let me bring another example. Here I have another example. Same bank ATM, we written it in a different way. Now if you take a look here, right? Again a bank ATM. Customer withdraw cash, transfer funds, deposit funds, right? And it goes to bank server. And also there are maintenance people, the refill machine, right? With paper, with money, right? So this is another way of writing this requirement, explaining this requirement. So instead of reading a couple of pages, basically by looking at this image, you are saying, okay, I have to write a test case for verifying PIN. I'll have to write a test case for withdraw funds. I'll have to write test case for deposit funds. Right? Can you see? Instead of reading 2-3 pages, by looking at an image, testers knows or developer knows what they have to develop. Testers knows what they have to test, what test case they have to write. That is why use cases are helpful in understanding the requirements. Does it make sense to you guys? What use case is and why we use use case? Charmaine, do you have any? Okay, very good. So now I'll be sending you this document so that for your further understanding. Now, one thing that I want to go back to you in your screen, Amit. Can you bring your screen and um, can you share your screen again? I want to go back to you to discuss a few things.
Matt or me?
Yeah, you go back to your start sharing your screen again. Okay, so if you go back, can you bring that window, that um, database window, Oracle window, and that notepad? Mhm.
So two. Okay.
Uh,
Oh no, the
yeah.
table sheet, right?
Mhm.
Okay, gotcha. Give me 1 second.
Verify, is there any login for the SQL? Because when I logged in, it's like it expired in 7 days. And last time when I logged in.
So what happens? 7 days.
When I logged in last night, it said that it'll expire in 7 days.
Your password is expired.
Expire in 7 days is what it said.
Okay, if it expires, you will have to reset the password. In the latest version of this, probably they have set up this. But if your password expires, you set up a new password. You put the same password basically every time.
Okay.
Okay, so can you bring the table, school? Sharmin, are you able to create the table?
I did it. I saved it for you, but when I reopened the document, they didn't have anything on there. So I have to redo that email.
The table is there, or
There, table is there. I just
data is not there, right?
but the table is there.
Okay, so what you have to do every time you alter data, you have to commit. So commit statement, Jaman, commit semicolon. So every time you store data, you have to commit. Otherwise, if you close it, data will no longer be there. Okay. Now display, like, how do you bring all of the data? Select star from school. Okay, that's how. I am starting discussion from our previous session. So select star from school. What will it do, Amit? Jaman?
When you type in selection, the entire table.
Entire table. Okay. And now, if you look at the first query, display Biplav's student ID. You understand the question what we are trying to get? Display Biplav's student ID specifically, right? So again, you will be writing select, and then what are we asking? Select student ID. Select, yeah, select student ID from what is the table name? School. Now remove the semicolon, right? If you, okay, put the semicolon and press enter. Now can you see it is bringing all of the student IDs, right? Are you looking for that, or you are looking for a student ID from a for a particular person?
For the shit out of you from a particular person.
Right? So again, if you press up arrow, okay, now remove that semicolon, space. Now you have to put a where condition. Where, and then you say Biplops, right? Biplop, what is the column name? Stud name, right? Where stud equal to equal to equal to, put in the quotation, single quotation, not double quotation.
Give me 1 second. Okay, so select.
You can press up arrow.
School
Where
student equals
single quotation,
Biplop.
Biplop, yeah.
Semicolon.
Yeah. You got it, Charmaine?
Yes, but I wrote it in a different way, the command.
Mm-hmm.
The way I had it was, I think when I left off last time, I worked with 3 tables. That's why I wrote it that way. I wrote it as select
Mm-hmm.
school student ID.
Mm-hmm.
School dot. Sorry, what?
Student ID. School dot student ID from school where school dot student name had it as from just a moment.
Okay. So if you write school dot stud name equal to Biplab, here Jaman, if you write stud name equal to
Equals quotations.
quotation Biplab, B uppercase,
Selected.
B uppercase, you
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, let's do it one more time. So uppercase and lowercase here.
if you put anything in the quotation, it matters. Anything in the quotation. So Sharmin, school dot stud ID, school dot stud name, like table name dot field name, we will have to do that, but not in this case. We will show you like where we have multiple tables. When you have writing a query, we have to bring data from multiple tables, and then stud ID. If you have stud ID in multiple table, then it is a problem. But for now, you do not have to use that school.stud ID. You can directly use only stud ID. We will discuss on what situation we have to use that dot operator. Okay. Sounds good, Charmaine? Okay. Next query, display address whose name is Smith.
Let's see. So we would say select.
Mhm.
Select student address from school where student name equals Smith. Well, I'm sorry. Spell it.
You can press upper, yeah. You can probably, you'll have to make S uppercase. Right? Does it make sense, Charmaine, how we are writing this query, the second query?
Yes.
Any question?
No.
Okay, third query.
Display student ID who lives on 2nd Main Street. So
Mhm.
we could say select. Let's see. Select display who lives. Select student name.
Stud name.
From school where student address. Student address equals this is 2nd Main Street.
Okay, are we good, Sharmin, up to this? Okay, Jaman, can you write the next query? The fourth one, the fourth query.
I'm sorry. Display who lives on 2nd Main Street. So I would say display.
Display is not a display is not a SQL command.
I'm sorry. So select student name from school where student address equals equals 2nd Main Street.
So Smith, the previous query, the third query, stud ID, right? If you go up, now if you take a look, the third query, the way you have written, you have brought stud name, but you're supposed to be bringing stud ID.
Okay. So let's do that again. Select.
You are not typing. You have to click there. I see you are not typing in the type now, yeah.
Student ID from school where student address equals
Yep. Does it make sense? This queries.
Makes a lot of sense.
Is it not interesting?
It's also simple,
Yeah, like
It's not
English.
It's not like
Yeah. This is a language again, Jaman. This is called structured. Sorry, this is called structured query language. Okay. There are a few things we'll learn. There are advanced query we'll learn. You'll see that now your goal will be this document, right? To create the remaining two tables. I think we have three tables here, right?
just
Two.
two
Two.
tables, yeah.
I'm going to send another document. So your goal will be to create the remaining table here and also the tables from the other document. And write the queries as well.
Let's see. Okay. All right.
Okay. So for our next session, work on this SQL, and also we have discussed few theories from the first page of that Microsoft Word document. What is query language? What is DCL, data control language? What is DML? Right? I'll be asking you a question from Sharmin. Do you know what document? What happens? What system response? Correct? Is that correct? So if you go back, your password is